Hello guys and welcome back. As you might know, Fed was removed from offline TV because of advances he made towards his female friends, Yvonne in particular. And in this video you will get more details from Yvonne and Fuslie, and also you will see where JadeyAnh stands regarding this situation. Yvonne is saying that Toast guessed that Fed did something to her.
But Toast was just like, what's wrong? And kind of, was it, he guessed if it was Fed. And then he guessed, like, and I even wasn't even gonna say it then. And I don't know if I would have ever said anything. But he asked if, like, Fed did anything to me. And I cracked. And I told him. And it was like a weight off of my shoulders because I haven't told anyone in offline TV. This was like months later too. Like months and months after it happened, because I was very scared that it would get out and that offline TV would just die. And I didn't want that. I didn't want something that involved me to be like the cause of that. Sean would never, like, if he was really upset or like livid about it and didn't give Fed the benefit of the doubt, he would just quit. And he would just never, like, he wouldn't care about that. But Fed said that it would be in his best interest to not be upset at him. And I was super upset hearing that, because Sean is so nice. Like, you did this to his girlfriend at the time, and like you're the one who should be asking for forgiveness. How could you say that? Sean is so fucking nice. And I'm trying to comfort him with, and he said, I was very upset. I remember when I was telling Toast, that was one of the things that I told him that upset me a lot. And he found out. And yeah, he didn't apologize to me at that time. It was something that I guess it wasn't until I started writing this down, trying to like explain why it was like that I realized, like, oh, wait a second. It was only the girls' beds. He didn't ever sleep in Toast or Scar's bed. It was always me, Mon, or Lily. He messaged me today, or last night, and this was when like everything was out already, you know? The statements were out. Iman like wrote her statement, or explained her statement and everything. And he wrote me a message, and at the end he said, I'm so sorry. And I don't think he has anything to gain from that, especially when everything is out already. So I believe that, like, he's, even if, I don't know if he's gonna be a better person in the future, and I can't see the future, but I feel like he'll at least make the effort. So avoid like harassing or hating on him if possible. There's already a lot of bad comments and hateful stuff out there. I don't think any more will help him change for the better. I should have seen a bit of the signs where he did kind of push boundaries, or when I would ask him to not do something, there was always like pushback in terms of like he would take off his pants and just and then like, because it's like uncomfortable, or take off his jeans because it was uncomfortable, right? And then I was kind of like, put it back on, like, you're not getting, like, that's not it, sort of thing. He's like, but it's uncomfortable. And it's like, so there's like pushback. So that was something that I didn't let him do that, but like the fact that there was, like, I was trying to tell him no and he kept giving this back and forth with me was very frustrating. And that happened a lot, not just like in terms of that, but just in a lot of things that we did. When people say you could have just said no, that line blows my mind, that people will just say you could have just said no. And I'm okay, to be honest. Like, I firmly believe that that isn't correct. And no matter what you comment, you will never ever ever be able to convince me that I was wrong in that scenario. And I think my message I want to send, because like, is I want other people to hear this as well, who've like either suffered the same thing or are learning about it or anything, that you are not to blame when you didn't want it to happen in the first place. When they were the ones who put you in that position, like, how can other people minimize what you went through and try to blame you when... I'm really happy that Toast was in the house. Telling him how I felt OTV was family, and no matter where we went, whether it was conventions or events, that I always liked that I had like a general direction that I could walk to. Like at TwitchCon, if I see Lily or whoever, I would be able to just walk towards that general direction, because you know, it's like you're walking to your family or your friends. Like it was that. And I was sad that, you know, if we weren't together anymore, like I don't have a direction. And I explained that to him, and he told me that he wouldn't let that happen, that he would refuse to let me leave the group, and he made me feel a lot better. He told me he'd do everything in his power to keep me. I remember that. I know people are worried about our content and everything, but OTV is still together, and we're just going to be taking a very short content break. Everyone just needs a little bit of a mental break. We've been not sleeping very well and kind of trying to one-up each other in terms of how many hours did you sleep last night? And then this happened yesterday. Scara was like for a very long time, we were really, really close. And I never imagined that like if I confronted him with a problem or like tell him that I was hurt, that he would respond that way to me. And that was when like the distance, I started like realizing like, oh, I see. It was kind of like a mental note in terms of, I know we can still be good friends, but I see that I can't be that invested in you because of how you confront problems. I could have hired a guy and locked my door so that he didn't have a chance of coming in at all. Or maybe if I never moved into the offline TV house in the first place, this never would have happened. Or, this is even the crazier part, but he could have just not done it. Like, or even this, at the bare minimum, he could have asked before he did it. He could have not made his way downstairs into my room. There's so many things you could say that could have happened, but you choose to say you could have just said no. Out of everything. Instead of saying he could have just not done it. I am baffled by the amount of people who think that that phrasing is okay, or like that you could just say that to someone.
Especially Yvonne, Lily, and Pokey, and it's been and seeing like how amazing like everyone else at OTV has been like as a support system for them too has been. It's been really wonderful.
Huge shout out to the guys at OTV too, like Fed. Oh, sorry. Oh my.
Apparently, like Kimmy, Fed was in Kimmy's room, like in the back house area, and like you could see me apparently. So apparently, Fed saw me changing, and stuff. And instead of like just looking away, he like notifies Kimmy that I'm changing, and then is like, she's changing, like what? Anyway, so, and then makes the point to like come over back to our place, my room, and like tell me that he saw me changing and stuff. And I don't know, maybe I've talked about this on stream, and like think about the way I shared it. I was like, Like Fed saw me changing, lol. Oh my god, just that's so funny, Fed. Like, you know what I mean? The way we like, if you go back on so many of these like clips and stuff, the way we make excuses for it all and rephrase things. I have talked about this, right? Because I think I was just like, oh my god, Fed saw me changing, lol, Fed, you know, but it was weird. That's a weird thing. And that time on the Offline TV podcast when they said something to Fed and he got triggered, like, and he called me on stream crying, and he put me in a really hard situation because like he's like crying to me and I'm like, hey Fed, I'm streaming. He goes, I know, keep streaming. And I'm like, what? And he's like, they make me feel like shit, yada 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 yada, right? And so I'm in this really awkward situation of having to comfort him, but also on the other side, OTV's like, please end the stream, please stop talking, please, like, and I'm just like, I felt so upset, and so I just said, hey, please, can you, like, I have to go, you know? I forgot how I ended that, but I was in such an awkward situation in that point, and I was really mad at him for putting me in that situation, for seeing that I was on stream, calling me, putting me in that situation, and stuff like that, right? And he has a thing for going to run, like, at the Just Friends house, like, we knew he would come to our house all the time, always in a bad mood, and it was always because it was like, oh, Fed's over.
Can I just say that Pokey has been incredibly like patient and strong and understanding through like this, like she has gotten so much hate and so much of a bad rep like throughout the years for things that you guys will never fully even understand, and she has just kept quiet about to protect people. Okay, and to be professional.
So much to like, yeah, it's crazy. She is a queen. She's been, and personally, she's been really helpful during all of this. Come to our house all the time, always in a bad mood, and it was always because it was like, oh, Fed's over. Stuff with Pokey or OTV's like not good right now. Like that was it. He would run away. He would run away constantly, and then while he's there, he's like just spreading bad vibes about OTV, which would slowly start to push us away from them. I'd start to have these really negative thoughts about Pokey. Like I really thought like, wow, like she's driving him crazy, poor guy, like, man, like, you know, I had all these negative thoughts about her, and I apologized to her directly about like not talking to her in the moment, instead just believing everything Fed was saying, because at the moment, Fed is my close friend, you know? And so he like, yeah, and so if you're wondering why a lot of this stuff had to be aired publicly, and it's because that was the only way we'd see Fed change, because we had tried to address things publicly. And instantly with the intervention, he went running to all the people who weren't at the intervention, victimizing himself. Oh no, Fed's great, makes excuse, no, he's fine, just don't talk about it, until we literally, like, all the girls got together and like his name came out, and then like it was like vomit, like word vomit, like, sorry. Yeah,
Leslie was telling me it was like almost like an AA meeting about Fed.
We were like
when everyone,
whoa. There was a lot that people hadn't shared for years. And we're like, oh, this is a real problem. I had no idea, because when I had heard his name come out, I was like, oh my god, I have so much to say, And I look around and everyone's like, can I speak? Oh, okay, oh no, we'll just go around in a circle and we'll share. And that's like the fact that it was like that, and we had gone over like, you know, all the guys, and we're like, oh, he's such a great guy, he's such a good, oh, bless his soul, you know. And then you're like, oh, wait a minute, there's a problem here. And then we even at that meeting were like, let's not figure out what to do now. Let's, cause if we talk about it, like, then what does that mean for OTV? So let's not talk about it. Maybe we can meet again and figure it out more.
It's completely unreasonable how many people have been saying like, oh my gosh, they could have handled this privately. They all said that they did. Not one person, not two people. A whole house, an organization, and group of friends of people have said over and over and over again that they tried to handle it privately. They tried. And they're recognizing no change from this person that they care about, that they wish would care enough about them too to take accountability and be responsible moving forward, and they have not done that. And they have every right to express themselves however the fuck they want to, whether you like it or not. And you know what? I think the only reason you don't like it is because you're scared it will happen to you, because you're too much of a fucking bitch to ask someone for consent before you assume consent by touching them.
That I'm not ready to stream today. That was one day before Yvonne came out with her story. And the reason I wrote that is because Fed called me and told me everything before it got public, which he did because I'm his friend and he wanted me to be warned, because he knew my past with sexual harassment and everything, so he didn't want me to find out like that, and we talked. So yeah, that's why I was pretty much prepared when everything came out. And it's difficult, because if you guys are often here, you know that I often talk about Fed before this incident happened, and I would always say, oh, Fed is like the best person ever, there's not a single bad bone in him, in his body, and that he is one of the best friends I have. That's what I kept telling in the past on every stream I had. I've never thought that I would be the side of the accused one, so it's really a difficult situation for me, because I feel like if I drop him, I don't know if I can do that. Like, again, I'm definitely supporting Yvonne and Lily and Pokey. What they've been through is awful, and I will 100% stand behind them. But I cannot drop Fed, even though people probably want me to do that, because he did bad things. In my heart, I want to still see him do better eventually. I don't think he will really necessarily recover from all of this. By that I mean like on Twitch and everything. I think that's pretty much done. That's my opinion on it, that's my take. But I hope as a human that he can change, get better, and yeah, I don't think I should drop him. I really don't. And I've never thought that I would be the side of the accused one, so it's really a difficult situation for me, because I feel like if I drop him, I don't know if I can do that. Like, again, I'm definitely supporting Yvonne and Lily and Pokey. What they've been through is awful, and I will 100% stand behind them. But I cannot drop Fed, even though people probably want me to do that, because he did bad things. In my heart, I want to still see him do better eventually. I don't think he will really necessarily recover from all of this. By that I mean like on Twitch and everything. I think that's pretty much done. That's my opinion on it, that's my take. But I hope as a human that he can change, get better, and yeah, I don't think I should drop him. I really don't. But again, I've never been in a situation where my friend did something like this. And it's incredibly hard, because I feel like when I support him, I'm against Yvonne and Lily and Pokey's pain, which is absolutely not the case at all. But it's really, I don't know. And I'm sorry for those who are probably disappointed in me by not dropping him as a friend. It's just in my heart, I can't do it. Because I care for him, and it sucks that he did all those things. It really sucks. And I'm so sorry. Oh fuck. So yeah, that's my take on the situation. Right now I can't do much.
Hi guys, we're here. Did you guys watch? Oh no, I don't like knowing that you guys watch. It's really embarrassing.
The whole thing of
Oh, it's so embarrassing.
No, it's okay. Very soft.
I'm scared I would say too much. Like not.